Shabbat Shalom. Rabbi Zerin here with a thought for Shabbat. I want to start by way of a story about a little girl who was born during the 40 years of wandering in the desert and now stood at the brink of the Promised Land, overlooking lush fields of trees and grain. She had never seen anything like this before, and so she turned to her mother and said, "Mommy, what is all this?" Her mother said, I remember hearing about this from my mother from when she lived in Egypt. She told me that those tall brown things with the green on top, they are called trees. They grow something called fruit that you can eat. And when you bite into it, it is sweet and delicious. And the shorter tan things blowing in the wind, that's called wheat. And you can grind it up and mix it with water and bake it, and it turns into something called bread that fills your belly with a delicious goodness. And the most amazing thing is that we grow these things with our very hands by putting something called a seed, something no bigger than the tip of our fingernail, into the ground. And from that tiny seed, up grows all this delicious food. Can you believe it? Well, the girl got a face and said, "No, Mommy, I can't believe it. I've lived in the desert all these years, and I know that when we are hungry, God causes manna to miraculously fall from heaven. And when we get tired of manna, God miraculously causes quail to fall from heaven. I know that food simply comes from God falling from the sky. Now you want me to believe that we can grow food from the ground from something no smaller than our fingernail? That kind of a miracle, Mommy? I could never believe." Well, why am I sharing this story with you? Because this week we read Parashat Eikev, when we all stand on the brink of the Promised Land. Moses recounts all of the miracles that God wrought for our people throughout the desert wanderings. And Moses tells of a time very soon when we will enter the land and build our own houses and grow our own food. But Moses worries that as we become more self-sufficient, we will also forget God. And we will forget that everything we have is only because of the blessings and the miracles that God brings to our lives. Moses offers an antidote to this, and it is in this week's parasha that we find the origin for Birkat Hamazon. In the verse, Ve'achalta ve'savata u'virachta, when you eat and you are satisfied, then you shall bless the Lord your God, who has given you this good land. We find in this story and in this week's parasha that when we become self-sufficient, we run the risk of forgetting that even our self-sufficiency is a miracle. Judaism helps to encourage us to sense those miracles in the world. And one of the ways we do that is by offering blessing. Blessings after meals, blessings after all food, blessings over all circumstances. May we all be inspired to notice the miracles that surround us, to offer blessings for them, and may we all have a Shabbat Shalom.